Hey guys, welcome to my video. In this video, I will be talking about some histological features of the gastrointestinal tract. Let's begin. First, I'll start off with some general information of the digestive system. It takes in food, digests, absorbs nutrients, and eliminates the remaining waste material. The digestive system can be divided into a digestive or GI tract, which are your oral cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. It also contains your associated digestive organs consisting of the salivary glands, pancreas, liver, and gallbladder. It is a long continuous tube that is 9 meters in length and opens to the outside at both ends through the mouth at one end and through the anus at the other. The basic structure of the wall is basically the same throughout the entire length of the tube, variations depending on the location of the organ. Now, let's jump into the main part of this video, the 4 layers of the gastrointestinal tract. From deep to superficial, you have your mucosa, which contains the epithelium, lamina propria, and muscularis mucosae. Then you have your second layer, the submucosa, which contains the plexus of Meissner. Your third layer, the muscularis externa, which contains the myenteric plexus of Auerbach, and your adventitia or serosa. Now, our first layer, the mucosa layer. It is the innermost layer, and it is made up of epithelium, which contains stratified squamous or simple columnar and covers the inner surface of the digestive tract. In the esophagus, the epithelium is stratified, squamous, and non-keratinizing for protective purposes. In the stomach, it is simple columnar and is organized into gastric pits and glands to deal with secretion. In the small intestine, it is specialized for absorption, particularly in the ileum, with villi and microvilli increasing surface area. Now, lamina propria. It is a thin layer of loose connective tissue. It lies directly below the mucosal epithelium and contains blood and lymph vessels, lymphoid tissues, and glands. Muscularis mucosae. It is a relatively thin layer of smooth muscle located between the mucosa and the submucosa. It is for local movement of the mucosa. Here you can see your epithelium, your lamina propria, and muscularis layers of the mucosa. And here is a closer look of the lamina propria. The mucosa also contains digestive juice secreting cells and mucus secreting cells, which are called goblet cells. Alright, our next layer is submucosal layer. This is composed of a layer of dense irregular connective tissue. It contains large blood vessels, lymphatics, and the neurons of the submucosal plexus of Meissner. Here you can see the submucosal layer between the mucosa and the muscularis externa, and it contains your ducts and glands, and your myenteric plexus or ganglion cells between the smooth muscles. And here you can see the submucosal connective tissue and nerve cell body of the submucosal plexus of Meissner. Alright, now our third layer, the muscularis externa layer. Here, it consists of 2 clearly visible layers of smooth muscle, which are your inner circular layer and your outer longitudinal layer. Another nerve plexus, called the myenteric plexus of Auerbach, lies between the circular and longitudinal layers of the smooth muscle. This muscular layer contracts to produce peristalsis. Here you can see the inner circular smooth muscle and the outer longitudinal smooth muscle. And in between those, you can see the nerve cell bodies of the Auerbach plexus. Last but not least, your adventitia or serosa layer. The adventitia is the outermost layer and is a thin layer of loose connective tissue. In places, a thin layer of simple squamous epithelium called mesothelium covers adventitia on the external surface. When covered by mesothelium, the adventitia is called the serosa, as can be seen here and here as well. When the outermost layer is attached to the surrounding tissue, it is called adventitia, but when it is lying adjacent to the peritoneal cavity, you call it the serosa. That brings us to the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you for listening.